back, and welcome to another episode of Meaningful Moments. Today I want to focus on the subject, just let it go. Have you ever been painfully wronged by someone that resulted in you being burdened down with anger, resentment, or unforgiveness? Or have you ever struggled, like so many, with the process of forgiving someone for an inexcusable transgression that cut you deep within and placed you in a bad place? My friend, unforgiveness can happen because of a single act, or it can breed over the course of time and can grow and develop if it's not checked. My friend, unforgiveness can also stem from an interaction between a loved one or a co-worker or a stranger. In all honesty, many individuals have found themselves in this situation and continue to live in a state of unforgiveness, not realizing the damage that unforgiveness places upon the mind, the soul, and your body. I recall once speaking with an individual during a counseling session who said to me, "I might forgive, but I'll never forget." Have you ever heard that before? Now, this mindset is very popular in society, especially if the offender justifies their transgression. Another individual said to me, "Well, I'm just too hurt to think about forgiveness." This person also felt that it was impossible to rebound from her situation. Unforgiveness, my friend, had convinced her that she could never rebound from her hurt. But I knew that her inner healing was attached to her just letting it go. Now, after over 35 years of coaching people spiritually, I realized that unforgiveness can place you in one of life's hardest moments, especially if it involves betrayal, or perhaps abandonment, a divorce, infidelity, or perhaps the death of a loved one. Perhaps you right now are saying to yourself, forgiveness is not an option, or it's an impossible choice. Well, what if I told you that it is both possible and important, my friend, for you to let it go? In fact, it is the only way for you to regain your spiritual momentum. My friend, just let it go. It has been said that unforgiveness is like having a cancer in your soul. It eats away at your spiritual well-being. Additionally, unforgiveness is a spiritual prison that enslaves you as long as you refuse to forgive or just let it go. As a child, my grandmother taught me the Lord's Prayer with the emphasis on a familiar excerpt: "Forgive us our debts as we forgive those who trespass against us." But what does that actually mean? Well, Jesus explains this in a story that he tells about forgiveness. Here's the story. There was an ancient king who demanded his debtor to sell all that he had in order to pay off his multi-million-dollar debt that he had hanging over his head. We're told that this man fell on his face and asked for mercy and patience. Truthfully, he had no way to pay the king back. The king at that moment, some say, he lost his mind and did something outrageous, something that was insane. Guess what? He forgave the entire debt. Can you believe it? He decided that day to just let it go. But the same man that had been forgiven this debt, he went to another person who owed him a very small amount, and he punished that person severely. So when the king heard what the man that he had forgiven did, this particular king was furious, and he made that man work towards paying off all the debt that he had been forgiven. The Lord said it like this. He said for us to be forgiven, like this man in today's story, we too must forgive others. My friend, just let it go.